Okay, thank you for joining us. It's our first. What do you call this, Jake? A podcast, or what are we actually doing now?
I think this is officially a podcast.
Well, this is our first podcast. I think over the past, I'd say over a year or so, we've been looking for something new, a new niche for us, trying to find out where we fit in. And this is going to be something new that we're going to try to go forward. Isn't that right, Jake?
Yeah, we're going to see how this works for everybody. I know a lot of people have been wanting to be able to download it and all that, and we're going to set it up where you can stream and download it for a week, and then we're going to put up a new show. So
this is the way to go. We need something new. I think we've been doing the same old for so long, and now we know we need to get back in the game some way, somehow. We just don't know where our niche is or where we should get back in the game at. And that's one of the biggest things I think we've all been really dealing with. We have our tour company, Haunting Montgomery Tours. We have our websites, everything we've been doing, but it's almost just seeming like we're spinning our wheels. We're not really getting where we want to. We're not getting the fulfillment that we need. And I think this is maybe we just got to get out there and get going again. And maybe this is the way to get out there, start talking about some of our shows. And you know what? One of the things that you and I forget all the time, and you're guilty of it, I'm guilty of it, we have had some amazing experiences. Some amazing cases, and we refuse to talk about them and don't give them justice. And there's so many retards out there. I'm talking about on Facebook, you name it. I mean, it's retard city. Can we just be honest and be who we are on this show now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so insulting, and they hadn't really worked in the field. I see para-celebrities, all this stuff out everywhere, and it's insulting. We've worked it. We've experienced more than half the people in our field, and I think that's something that it has gotten us so bitter. We never wanted to be famous. We just know it's just so many imposters and fakes that don't have a clue. And we have a clue, and we have such a clue, it's actually put us in a box, in a confinement where we're just bitter and in our own world. I mean, that's kind of how I feel.
We certainly don't roll in the same world that a lot of those people do at all. To be honest, I've been completely out of it with those folks. Who all is actually even relevant anymore?
I don't know. I still see them a lot going on, and I see people still grasping for different stuff. And there's some good people out there. There's some good events coming up that I'm happy to be a part of. But it's just the absolute work out there. It's not the same, and it's not the whole field has changed. The game has absolutely changed, and people are not experiencing it. People are just not seeing it, and they're still living off something that absolutely don't exist.
It makes you. Once we get back into it, it'll be kind of fun to see what's changed, I guess.
Yeah, but hell, we're haunted now. We're having more experiences than ever. I am. I mean, the game has changed. One of the biggest insults that finally made me take a 2-week break.
Yeah.
That I was so mad and insulted that I just shut down. Is we had somebody contact us that we've investigated their location. It was basically nothing but a witch's den. And it's nothing against your beliefs or anything, but they have their fire pits and they do all this stuff, and they keep coming back. And a few years ago, we came out and investigated. We realized that they do rituals and stuff out there, and all this is going on. So it really wasn't anything to it, and we backed away. The lady contacted us and says, "Hey, I want you guys to help me communicate with the spirits. Any way y'all can do it, can y'all help me?" And we said, "Sure,
right.
let's go out and experiment and see." And then Jake followed up with him. Jake, tell them what happened when you followed up.
Well, I asked the lady, we were going to change the date a little bit. We were going to go from we were going to go out like Friday night, and it ended up not being so great. So we said, "Hey, can we come out Saturday? Would that be okay with you?" And she said, "Well, I think I have another team coming out Saturday. I think I have someone else that's going to do that. But you guys can all just come and let me know what you find out. And I have these EVPs and these pictures, and I'm going to have this other team that's around the area. I'm going to have them out in February." And I was like, "Oh, so and it just was very apparent that she wasn't in need of help. It was more of attention."
Yeah. And it's an insult because yes, I don't know what's going on. And if you keep bringing out different teams, you're bringing out different beliefs, different approach, and what you're doing is making her place even more haunted.
Well, yeah.
Or with thoughts and stuff that's not real. And we know for a fact they do certain things, rituals out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing you're doing, you're almost walking into a trap. And it's not the same thing. It's something so much more, of what's happening and everything else. And And, it's just been one step after another of what we need to find and what we need to look into, what we've been investigating. And it's almost to the point that we really have to reevaluate kind of our approach to what's out there, and what's there. And, we've talked about the UFO phenomena, the Bigfoot stuff that you hate. We talked about all these different things. And come to find out, I've really thought about it lately. We've had an experience when we was on our way to Natchez to be on Ghost Adventure where we had a lost time experience.
Well, it was, we were going to Selma, right?
Yes, we was on our way to Natchez, Mississippi, and we was passing through Selma.
And let's see, I'm trying to remember it. I think you guys have a better recollection than I did for some reason.
Well, it normally takes you 45 minutes. It was it took us 2 hours, and we don't remember passing the airport on the way, and we basically came to in Selma, confused.
Yeah, didn't Michelle call us or something?
Yeah, she did. And we don't remember, and we said, man, we've missed 2 hours. We've missed an hour.
Didn't you not answer the phone a few times on her or something like that?
Yeah, she tried to call and it wouldn't go through. She's having a phone problem. Our phones wasn't picking up, wasn't ringing through. And, we've had, you think about it from our experiences that we've had every experience you possibly can have in this field. We've investigated and researched everything you can possibly have. And, we went to the points of some of our theories, some of our beliefs. And I don't know what direction to go, but we know there's something out there and something more. And even when you start looking at some of the people regards to what we've experienced, even when we go back to some of our darker cases, do you think there was truly demonic cases, or were they dimensional beings tricking us?
When you look back, doesn't it make you feel like, nah, it's not right?
Yeah. I've changed so much of what I believe, so much of our experiences, and so much, even when I've gone back and we've written about Jack, is that I've taken this time where it seemed like I've taken off, and I have, but I really hadn't. I've really just thought back to everything that's happened. And I've thought back to all of our little experiences, and we have written off our little experiences, and not try to think about our bigger experiences because they left such an imprint in us. But our little experiences has set the tone for everything else that's happened to us, and what it's made us cold to, and what set us off is pretty much how we look at this field. It's almost like we're ashamed to be included in certain parts of this field because we know what's out there.
And it's. Right now, for me, it's almost like a completely different, like it's resetting completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking at it. I don't feel a lot of the old stuff I used to, like where if we get invited to investigate, I don't feel a sense of dread like I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Any longer. We've taken a step back from it long enough that where it can be fresh again.
Yeah. But I think we'll take a different approach because our views, our opinions of what's out there, and what's the best thing about that, as I say that, is that we know less now than we did when we first got started, because we thought we knew a lot when I did when I first got started. And I can tell you now, I know less now than I did then, and that's the place you should be to truly experience and work in this field.
Certainly. I mean, it's certainly not as black and white. I mean, we've learned about a very large gray area. Like you were saying, like even with Bigfoot, that's not something cut and dry. You've got some experiences where it's more of an animal, you kind of think, and then some where it's completely just off in some other weird kind of underground culture and passing through portals and that sort of thing.
The one thing that I'm a firm believer in the portals, I'm a firm believer in the dimensions. I'm the firm believer that a lot of this stuff, when you lose time like we lost time, is that we didn't get abducted, but we slipped through another world, another dimension.
Right.
And we came through. That's where these animals are coming through. That's where the Bigfoot's coming through. And that's where a lot of these strange things are starting to happen. And you start looking at this broad picture, if you start asking me about hybrids, human hybrids a long time ago, I would have laughed about it. Right now, I'm not writing anything off anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm completely open to anything out there because we're in such a strange state. And, as I said, I said several years that you're waking up and you're going to sleep. You remember that?
Yeah.
Now you're basically going batshit insane. Are you waking up now? Think about it.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, and I've literally seen that this recently, that people are literally going batshit insane, that they're absolutely not the same, that their energy is such a tornado of confusion that you can see it. It's such a shift in the human soul. It's such a shift in everything else. I listened to Coast to Coast. Now, I don't know if it was one of the older shows or whatever else, and they talked about how many of us what was here before, well, they're doing Atlantis or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then and the guy said that we don't remember. Human race didn't remember, and that's where you start talking about Quetzalcoatl and the Aztecs and the Mayans were talking about the bearded people that was there before them that taught them that they don't remember. See, I agree with him actually to a point, but at the same time, I disagree because I believe the soul remembers. And people's soul is starting to remember more now because we're in such an enlightened age. And when people's talking about all the government medicine, that people's on all the medicine, and how they're flipping out. Well, they're flipping out because the age is changing. And you can't trigger that mind. When you use that mind and you medicate the mind, some people just basically go to madness. Think about it. What do you think? Is that far-fetched?
It's like there's that happening, and then you have this whole other paradigm where you're wondering if some people aren't being driven to it.
Yeah.
Certain people. When you bring in the government, it's become exceedingly clear in the last 4 years that whatever we thought the government it's not a reflection of the people at all.
No.
You definitely have something in power there that we can't dismantle without force.
Oh, I think now. You can't. I don't even think you can dismantle it with physical force. It's got to be spiritual force, because what's behind the government now and what's behind this new world order is something so sinister. It's far beyond what I can comprehend from my background.
It's getting ridiculous.
It is. It's absolutely terrifying. You go back 5 years ago when we first started hearing about high definition, right?
Yeah.
And then people started saying, don't listen to it. The government can do mind control. We thought that was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And now we're like, hey. Yeah, like, whoa.
Yeah.
And you watch the news and you listen to our government leaders and you see how they're setting us up. And if you can see and you sense the wickedness.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you don't. I mean, it is wicked what's happening.
Absolutely. And I mean, Obama's at an all-time low. What's funny is it waited till this term.
Yeah.
When it didn't matter.
And if you don't believe that there is a fight going on between good and evil, or bad and bad, or evil and bad, you're wrong. Because the fight between evil and bad is happening now. And the good is doing what they always done in the ages of past, is they're packing up and they're hiding. They're saying, leave me alone, let me sit this one out. And people, you can't sit this out. You fix to be left alone, fix to be left out of the mix, because what's happening now? You can sense it's coming.
It's like we were on an escalation, and now it's speeding up just incredibly.
Yeah. And, and I'm all over the place tonight, and that's why I'm excited about the podcast, because I think we can cuss if we want to. We can be who we are, right?
Yeah.
Now, how far-fetched is this? The Bible talks about there's going to be rapture where they take everybody away, right?
Right.
Do we not know during this paranormal thing when everybody had all these ghosts everywhere? Mm-hmm. Could that have been it?
I've thought about that several times where, we noticed at some point there was just a complete lack of a human spirit, like there used to be, like where there was a ghost and he used to be human and it had been there a while.
Yeah.
I thought about that because, when they talk about the rapture, they don't literally mean that you're going to be taken up, your physical body's going to be taken up.
Yeah.
Like people would think. And a lot of times people say you would rest in Abraham's bosom, and even if you look at the Bible, it doesn't say that you go directly to instantly heaven or hell. They say it happens at the end time. That's when all that happens.
Yeah.
Is the everything's kind of swept clean, and then the people that are left here, woe unto us that are still alive and still here.
That makes you wonder, don't it?
It does. I've thought about it myself, certainly.
And I've always said that I think that the people that's here now, we're really old souls that we've chose to come back. And I believe that, but I also believe that we're old souls and we choose to come back. But man, we've have a dark past. A lot of us, we do. Mm-hmm. If there's ever wars, there's ever battles, they had to have these souls to deal with. I mean, we're here to make these corrections. And you hear so much over the years as you're traveling and people are talking about generational curses. Well, I think we're born in these curses to break them now because we're at this end of this age. And what's happening now is going to be a whole new world. It's going to be, as I started working on some of the predictions coming up, and we're going to do that on the podcast, and like we always do in January.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different now. Even when you try to plug in and look at that, everything's just uncertainty everywhere. It's like you really can't get a grasp on anything.
Yeah, it's a whole. As much as it changed, a few years ago, it's changed again. Things just seem to be quite a bit different now. It makes me wonder what the heck we're going to find when we get back out there.
Oh yeah, but I think the direction to find is to go after these dimensional alien beings. That's who you got to go after. That's who has the answers. That's who you got to go after and look for. Go after and look for. Did you know? I was recently listening to some stuff, and did you know the people? If you go back to the thing in South Carolina, you know the story regards to the lizard man.
Right.
Did you know the people that actually seen the lizard man and had that experience? You know they've all died. They've had weird deaths.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm a firm believer there's no such thing as coincidences. Now, of course, one of them was murdered. Somebody broke into their house and shot and killed them, but they was still tragically died.
Yeah.
That's you look at the similarities with the Mothman.
Right. That's true. That it really, for some reason, whenever that sort of thing happens and it's recognized as that, it does tend to leave dead bodies in its wake.
Yes.
People don't last long for some reason.
No. I mean, there's things out there. Things have, over the years, it has teetered with us. I've even thought back when we was within Chilton County and we first heard about the Chilton County Peach Monster, and we was up on that hill investigating Sarah Crockett's grave, and something from the woods threw something at us.
Yeah.
Somebody knocking something, banging on the woods, and in that time point, we wasn't even sure what was going on. We just knew something was being thrown at us.
Yeah.
Was it being thrown to us by a Bigfoot that was hiding in the trees, or was it being thrown from another dimension? Because that area has have UFO phenomena, creature phenomena, ghost phenomena. It's a tunnel system below it with flowing water up under it. I mean, it is tons of things that relate to what we found. And we've always come across certain situations like that. Think about how many people in our field that claim to be ghost hunters that come across the proof of a cult that we've come across.
Yeah. I mean, even if they did, are they even looking for it as that? Do they know the signs? Do they know what to look for? Do they know how to recognize that?
It's almost like the one blessing that we've had in this field is that the truth has always been, we've been seen. We've always been able to see the truth.
Yeah, it comes out, definitely. He's even with one another, like our brother that isn't here.
Exactly. But let me
always comes out.
Think about when we first met you and with that meet and greet, right?
Yeah.
Think how this field has changed you.
Mm-hmm.
It has completely changed you, and you can't say it's changed you for the better.
No, not necessarily.
Because it hadn't. It changed you for who your purpose is. You knew you was here to do this. You know you're supposed to be doing it. And when you're not doing it during our break these past few months, you felt like you basically you're a hot rod sitting on a shelf, sitting in a shop, not doing it. Sitting in a shop, not doing anything. Basically, am I right?
Pretty much.
And you know that we got to get out and do something. You just don't know where to go.
Yeah, it's just a lot of pent up energy, and you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really changed me for the worse, I'd say. Probably changed me for the stranger. Does that make any sense? I'm a much weirder person. Much weirder.
Yeah.
And I've embraced that weirdness.
And I think I don't know if it's made me mean, it's made me cynical, or what it's done to me, but it's changed me.
I think you're just different. You're not really... You just don't look at things the same, so you don't judge the situation the same, so you don't... It's just different.
But what's so cool about it, though, the one thing that's cool about it is that this field has literally changed my heart.
Yep.
It has.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had proof that there's definitely a higher power. I have proof that the love is the greatest vibration you can have to use this stuff. And I have proof that there's definitely an enemy out there.
Yeah.
Now, what it is and who it is, we don't know.
You know what's weird is how easy it is to forget all that.
Yeah. And I forgot it for a little while.
It's unbelievable. You'd think that with the things we've seen and the things we've experienced, it'd be ingrained in there. You'd never forget it. It wouldn't leave you, but it does easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
But our human nature runs from it.
Yeah.
Because you want to believe in the Baptist church. You want to believe that you can go to church and you can pray and it works. It's all there, and you can hide and you can make a safety net of your life. But if you're in this field and you cross that line, you're there. It's too late. You can't hide from it anymore. You have asked for it, and you've gotten what you've looked for. That has happened to us. And I talk about my childhood and my background, how it led me to do this and all this stuff. I've always said I wish I could be doing something else. I wish I could have turned my back. I wish that there's something out there. But there's not a doubt in my mind that there's something out there and there's an enemy. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's a great deception going on, as L.A. Mazzulli talks about. There's not a doubt in my mind. Any of this stuff is not happening. But we've got to get back to our roots and find that place that we can get back to work.
Another thing that was kind of put in my attention is how differently we actually see things. Like, if you look at the way people portray horror or you portray things in movies, the value system is kind of weird. Like, everyone looks at death as a finality. If you kill the bad guy, he's not around anymore, that sort of thing. And very few people these days, especially in horror, are afraid they underpower everybody. Does that make any sense? No one's ever able to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, we went and saw Insidious 2. It just felt like you were watching a wet rag hit a serial killer for 2 hours. They're just, they're not doing anything. And I've always thought the most interesting part of that kind of story is the whole good versus evil angle, that they're equally matched, and that's what makes it interesting. And that's just not a viewpoint you see in the world anymore.
And, that's talked about. We talk about God is not limited, he's limitless. We all have the power. If there's something evil out there, you have a way to fight back.
Yeah.
You forget about that white light. You forget about that spiritual motor you got. You forget about that light you can throw at them. You can forget about in your thought, in your mind, you could shift to wherever everything you want to be, and you can fight them in their realm, not in your world. And that's where it has to be. People forget about that place that your thought can carry you, that soul can carry you. They forget about the prayer. They forget about bringing people down to help you. There's things out there that can truly make a difference.
And it's extremely simple. I mean, all you have to do is either think about it or ask it. Have it in your mind that that's what you want to do. And it's just odd how the viewpoint is that there's nothing you can do. That's what seems to be driven home in news articles and TV shows and the way we communicate to each other.
That's the way they want it to think.
Yeah.
They preach fear. You think about how many of the para-celebrities that goes to these conventions and they preach fear. And they tell you about all this stuff. I mean, that's, you can't preach fear. God gives you that free will, and you have that ability to explore. You have that want to. If you have that light and that power to go forward, you're going to want to go out there and see what's out there and explore it. And I think you're supposed to go that route.
I think we have to get it back out there and talk about it, or no one will, maybe.
Yeah. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about that other world. There's another world that we can't see is happening right here with us. And that world can see into our world, and we have to start trying to see into their world. Because that thin line is thinning. And those, Lyndon Moulton Howe was talking about those booms are still happening again. Mm-hmm. There's strange things are starting to happen, and this whole world is shaking and baking. Think about that hurricane that hit the Philippines. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, and we're only going to get stranger and stranger.
Yeah.
There's no coming back. I mean,
And how do you sleep every night now?
No.
Your sleep's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's been that way for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. I haven't had a good night's sleep in 10 years.
Yeah.
Probably.
What do you think?
Yeah, you wake up and kind of middle around and go back to bed.
Yeah.
You do that, yeah.
But, how many other people in this field are truly like us?
I don't know. I wonder if they all sleep well. You wonder if anybody sleeps well.
I wonder. I really would like to know a sincerity of people in this field, because I always get the opposite from a lot of people, that they really not out there. I want to know if people experiencing the same thing we are.
I think they're sincere about their hobby, but I don't think they take the gravity of what they're doing seriously. They probably don't comprehend. This is going to sound like, I'm talking down, but it comes from a place of somewhat ignorance, somewhat. I mean, not that it's their fault, but I mean, who's telling them anything? I mean, they don't know. They're getting out there and doing the best they can, but then they bite off some things that don't make sense, or something gets into them. They just don't know that it's there.
Yeah.
They don't have anyone that can look at them and say, hey, you're messed up. You need to get things checked out.
Yeah.
They don't understand why suddenly they have cancer, or suddenly their wife's leaving them, or suddenly they lose their job and everything goes to heck.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we have ghost hunters taking place of our shamans, of our mediums, of our prophets. So, I mean, that's the gravity of what you're getting into, is that world, and that's who's normally society is appointed to deal with that world. Now you have somebody in camouflage pants that just started doing this 2 weeks ago. And I mean, I understand the curiosity. I understand wanting to know, but there's a certain price that comes with it I don't think people understand either.
This past Halloween, we did an event, and we talked to a lady, and the lady said that she's a medium, and she's a psychic, and she's interested, and she's been ghost hunting some, and that she's been ghost hunting with a local coven.
Yeah.
And then the coven came by our house, started stalking her, and all that, and instantly over that time period, it took me back to even when I was a kid. And
Wetumpka.
Yeah, Wetumpka coven. But I started thinking about my grandmother, and the work she did. That's not the same as ghost hunters.
No.
I mean, a coven is not ghost hunters.
No.
If you practice a certain old art form, if you practice a lot of the hoodoo, if you believe in that, that's not ghost hunting. That's just your spiritual work. That's just basically what you do.
And in this area, it's honestly a little odd to do it with a lot of different people.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine it.
Maybe 2 or 3. Maybe.
I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, but if you have like 6 people, I mean.
And when I approached this field and started doing it, I approached it as a person and wanting to investigate and look into how you look into it. And I've always tried to keep a lot of the root work different than the investigative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you really couldn't, because that was a way for me to go and find out a little more about myself.
It was just kind of a waste not to.
Yeah.
You have it, why not use it?
It goes hand in hand. But at the same time, you don't investigate that way.
What would you have done if they would have come try and got you at midnight and you just went out? Would you just went outside and started peeing and looking at them?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been.
Just
ugly.
made it really awkward.
Yes, it'd have been really awkward. It would have been really awkward.
Walk outside naked and scream, "I'm ready."
But it would have been weird. It would have been,
because they're from Wetumpka, so it's hard to take them seriously.
But it's okay. What you want to practice, that's okay to practice.
It's fine.
But at the same time, it's funny when you see it when the people are practicing. Don't practice hygiene, and not that this person. I'm not talking about this person, but a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm this," and they don't practice this stuff. You got to respect your arts.
You're like, please brush your teeth first.
Yeah, you got to respect your arts. You got to have a thing. You got to have a way to hide it, because you can sense it without them telling you.
Even Jesus said, "Do it in secret." Guys, come on.
I mean, you can sense it. You can see signs, symbols. You can see certain stuff. You'll get the signs without telling everybody.
It does not help you in the least to tell everybody.
No.
Does not help you.
No.
It's not something you do for attention.
Because you never know who's truly a solitary practitioner.
No, and you can if you tell the wrong person, you can be messed up.
Yeah. And, one of the things, too, over the years is how many people claim, you'd be amazed at how many people try to do stuff to you.
Yeah.
This whole field, since we've been involved, since the beginning, I've learned, I was a worldly guy. I mean, I knew a lot of stuff. But I have seen it all since the years I've done this. You know? I have. You think about it, I have seen it all.
Wow. Yeah. The people.
It's amazing.
I remember we were at that one Atlanta convention or something, and I had to get up and get something going for a presentation in like an hour.
Yeah.
And the convention had run until 1 in the morning. So I'd only gotten a few hours of sleep, and I got up and I went downstairs, and I was like one of the only people there, and I was not in a good mood. I had not showered yet. And I was setting something up, and this lady that was grossly overweight, and I'm a fat guy too, but I'm talking about you've given up hope on some things if you get that fat, was out in the lobby with a recorder in the lobby of a hotel, broad daylight, with a recorder asking if anybody was there that wanted to communicate. And that's when I started taking stock in my life.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here?
Exactly.
David up free with security.
God, dog. You know, that poor event, and those people, even though the lady that's over that convention now still hates us, still hates me, still talking about me. It's hilarious. Yeah. I got an email from a lady that says that she mentioned that I had a great conversation with her friend Shawn. And then that lady assumed they was talking about me, so she blows that stuff up, attacks me, attacks her. You know, it's funny because that person's so afraid that me would actually tell the truth about them. You know. Yeah. But you know, and that lady said she wanted to tell me what they talked about me, but I don't care. I don't care about these people.
That would be kind of interesting, though.
Yeah,
I would have asked. I would have been like, "Please tell me."
You know, I have a sincere love for people, and I do want to help people. But some people, at the same time, you get what you deserve. Yeah, just keep your distance, and you know that's fine. And you know, I hate to be. You talked about me. I've gotten mean. Do you think I've gotten purely mean, or do you think it's just getting back to the old me?
You're still not as mean as I am.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Or can be, that I can be.
You know, I've literally got adults that don't want to talk to me now in youth football. They'll avoid me. They talk to everybody else.
It's probably deserved, to be honest.
It is, because I've had my point with people using people living through other people abusing things. You know, I've had my fill of it.
It's like I always told you, there's a complete difference between just being angry and righteous anger. Yeah. There's a whole big difference there.
You know, I've literally said if we were in the Old West, I would get all of us, we'd load our horses up, and we'd ride off.
I don't blame you.
I mean, goodness gracious.
You'd find a new homestead at this point.
God, yeah. But, you know, it's just that age. You know, there's something inside of a lot of our souls that's awakening where we're getting ready to kind of explore something new and move forward. Mm-hmm. And you just don't know where to go. You know, it's part of that awakening that's happening. That we're tuning into something else and we're going to that higher vibrational state that at the same time we just want something more and we don't know what it is. It's like a creative thing that you can't create yet.
Yeah.
It's creative urge that you can't create.
I've been having that a lot where I got to, I want to, and it just doesn't feel right. I don't know.
It's just not there. It's something, but it's just not there yet.
Right.
But it's coming. You know, it's coming. But it comes down to us getting where we need to be is getting back on the road again.
Pretty much. That's all we got to do, and we know that's coming up this year. So. Yeah.
Getting back on the road again, we'll get back on the swing of things.
Oh yeah.
And then too, it gets down to the point where numbers used to be important, and now it's not important.
No.
It's just not. You got to kind of know your role and kind of know where you're at, and then just basically go forward that way again.
You know, speaking of that, I know you had kind of a big thing where you wanted to sort of rebirth SPR for the most part.
Yeah.
Bring it back around again to a degree.
I do.
It feels right.
You know what we created with the SPR? It's got such a great.
It still has a good reputation.
We got to create it back again. It's got to be put back, and be put back the way it should be put back.
Exactly. It's got to be done correctly.
Yes. The lady contacted us with Bonavista. The new lady, she wants us back next year, and I told her we'd do it.
Okay.
We getting back in the swing of things. You got to. And are you working on the SPR website?
Mm-hmm. I told you I had an idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's important. That's an important part of where we want to go.
Yeah.
And you know what? Something I've thought about. There's there's a lady we know that started a paranormal team down in South Alabama.
Oh, yeah?
I would even go along with them on investigation.
Why wouldn't we? It'd just be like, what, me, you, and Jeremy, or just me and you?
Yeah.
Me and Hump, somebody?
I really thought about messaging her and say, you know what? I see y'all got some little investigation going on. I just want to go around and see other people. I want to see how am I really comparing to everybody else.
It's time to do it again, I think.
Yeah.
Feels right, don't it?
Yeah, it does. We got to get back to work. And, it's really about the experience. Yeah.
And I think it's probably the best way to do it for us is just to tag along with folks.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
I think that's what we need to do. Just
consult.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you all, if we're doing these podcasts, can we have a guest?
Yeah.
We need to look into that. I mean, of course, be careful. I mean, not just
anybody.
Yeah, get us a guest on.
Yeah, we can. There's no reason I don't think we can.
Yeah.
We need to record it, and we can podcast it, and there you go.
We need to get back into things. I'm excited about it. How have we done on our time so far tonight?
We're doing about 35 minutes. We got about...
That's good.
25 left.
Good.
It took me that long to do the math.
That is good. That's the biggest thing is getting back in the swing of things, see how getting our time back right, and this has been fun so far.
Yeah.
It has.
What would you care to do this next year? Just, we got a year coming up. Just some things.
Some things I want to do this year. I want to go to New Orleans again.
That's got to
and get back out to the vampire stuff. I want to go visit Bell Witch Cave.
See? We need to do that because isn't that close to Memphis, kind of?
It's the other side between Memphis. It's the other side of Tennessee, isn't it? I'm not sure where it's at.
I think it's in between Nashville and Memphis. I think.
I want to go to the Bell Witch Cave.
I could be completely wrong.
And one of the things too that's kind of had me pissed off. My former agent.
Oh yeah.
You notice I came up with an idea and all that, and he's completely started his own. He took my idea and basically doing the Crossroads Blues.
Is he?
Yes,
on his own?
Yeah, on his own. I saw that. We've had so many of our ideas stolen, but it's okay.
It happens.
It happens. But I guess that's a great thing. I would like to go back to the Crossroads, go back to Mississippi and follow that highway. You never made that trip.
Enough, isn't it?
It's not a bad trip. There's a lot of little things. We've always had the strangest things ever happen to us in Pensacola.
And there's also McGuire's.
Yeah.
McGuire's,
exactly. Savannah, Georgia is going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Going to Ghost Stop.
That's going to be fun again.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I remember last time now.
Golly. Things are never the same, was it?
We got to keep the number small on that one.
Yeah. Ghost Stock is going to happen. There's a lot of little things like that I would like to do this year that I kind of have in the back of my mind, some of the things I want to see. Things I want to do in time, I want to go to Joshua Tree, California. Instead, Joshua Tree Inn. I still want to visit Villisca Axe Murder.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to go there.
I wish that was more accessible. That's just such a pain in the butt.
It's so hard to get to. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just some of the things I want to do. I want to get a cabin in the middle of nowhere and look for UFOs. Work on that. Try to communicate and contact with them through the shack hacks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some of the things that. What about you? What's some places or things you want to get out and look at?
I've been trying to think about it. I think it's not really wanting to go places, but do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do the cabin in the middle of nowhere for a little bit. New Orleans, of course, is a must. I'm looking forward to Ghost Stock and Conuga this year. I always like Conuga. We always have a good time.
Yeah.
I've never really gone and hated Well, the last time sucked because of how they were split it up instead of having everything there.
Yeah.
I hope that's reconsidered. When everything was there, it was awesome. You didn't have to get in the car and go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just getting out and about again.
Just getting out again is the key. That's the key, is getting out again.
I don't even necessarily have to go that far.
There's places here to look into.
Yeah.
There's still, you got the church in Red Level.
Yeah.
You've got we've got Highland Home, which is an amazing place to look into. There's a lot of little areas through here for that we could still look into and still need to look into more.
For some reason, I'm really liking the idea that about what you're talking about, like inviting maybe the people down in South Alabama up to check the church out. Now it's just tagging along with them.
Yeah, exactly. Just tagging along.
So Because, we're terrible at the whole evidence gathering thing.
Yeah.
It just...
And,
Can we make stuff for you to analyze? Yes. Do we want to analyze it ourselves? No.
There's just tons of things that I'm interested in getting into and just want to see. I'm still interested in investigating the Lady in White. There's still something to that we need to look into.
It's going to be all about the experiences in 2014, I hope.
Yeah. That's getting
That's
back
what
to...
we're back to, yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it's got to be. I wish we could go back to Marion.
Yeah, I know. Whatever happened with that?
I think they was thinking about moving back into that house. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
We need to check and see, because that would be a great place to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that is what we need to get back into and start checking into again. It's just getting back to our roots and just seeing what we can find.
You know what was horrible about... The only thing I've ever hated about Marion is for some reason every time I went, you always made it so that everyone had to sleep separately.
Oh, you get scared?
Yeah, I hate that.
It was creepy. It's a creepy place.
That's my number one problem when we go places is I can't fall asleep, and you guys always fall asleep within 5 seconds.
Yeah. Marion's a creepy place.
You remember I got to where I just bring my DS with me and I'd play games sitting there in the dark?
I remember. And Marion, we found just by happenstance that they had a similar axe murder in 1869. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it 69?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Very similar, and that makes you wonder. No, they was the axe murderers. What was it? Or is it the Austin Ripper? There's been series of weird murders over the years and stuff in different areas that I would like to, just kind of mess around with. And let me ask you something else. Have you been watching American Horror Story?
Yeah.
What did you think about them bringing the Axeman?
That was awesome.
It was.
Because what's great is as soon as they started reading the letter, I was like, oh, it's the Axeman.
Yes.
Jenny was like, who? And I was like, pay attention.
It's the Axeman. I couldn't believe they brought him in. But I wish they would have stuck to the real thing. I hadn't watched that whole episode. I just caught that by accident. Michelle always watches it.
They hit all the right notes with him. I mean, there's a ton of theories, and they had their own there, but they did everything he did. It was in there.
Yeah. The coolest thing about the Axeman in New Orleans that people didn't realize is that he would come in to locked doors and leave the locked doors.
Yep.
And then some of the survivors said that he appeared.
Out of nowhere.
And then there was people that claimed to seen him hopping roofs like the gentleman in England.
Spring Hill Jack.
Yeah, that he would hop roofs like that. So it's a weird case. Letter.
They really did capture that whole thing well.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, they didn't make him very supernatural because of how they wanted to take the story, but
yeah.
It's been it's been the best one so far to me.
But he's focused on Italian grocers for some reason. Or Italian.
Which was weird.
Which was weird. And there's so many theories on that, but to me, just him writing the letter about the jazz music, having him hop in the roofs, having him appear, and having him basically go away.
It's going to be awesome tonight for it. To see what he does.
No, what happens what's going on with it? I hadn't watched one complete episode.
I couldn't tell you all of it now.
So Michelle said they killed him or something?
Interesting. Yeah, remember when he disappeared?
Yeah.
Supposedly that's when the witches that were there killed him.
Okay.
And he's kind of been hanging around as a ghost, and they set him free. Now he's kind of a ghost, but he's got physical form to a degree.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So he's back again.
He's back. And the actor they got to play him is a very good actor.
In this time period?
Yes.
That's
in
interesting.
This time period.
I wish they would touch on the Carter brothers now.
What got me? Like, they do Marie Laveau well.
Yeah.
For how they're going to use her.
Yeah.
They could have done it better. And I'm not liking how they did Madame Lalaurie. It could have been good at first. That was kind of a cool twist, but then she's just like a complete useless.
How did they handle her? What's the story on that? Because I hadn't really watched it. Michelle's basically been the one to watch most of them.
They did it basically where Marie Laveau got entangled with her, which I don't even think they were in the same time period, were they?
No.
Lalaurie was way earlier than Marie Laveau.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's a little funky. But she basically gave her eternal life and then buried her in a box under a square. And then the main witch found her and dug her up, and she's kind of been her maid.
Really?
She hadn't really had much to do with anything.
Well, she was a lot younger. I mean, she wasn't a heavy set. She was an attractive lady.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Okay, you got Kathy Bates. You're going to have to use her.
Yeah.
She could have done it. I could have ignored that. It's just they just haven't done much with the character so far. Like, they got a good premise, and they just never developed it.
Yeah.
It might be coming later, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we'll have to see what they do.
Because that happened in the 30s, 1830s, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was in the 1700s, wasn't it? Like, it was in, like, the late 17s, wasn't it?
I
Madeline
can't
Lalaurie?
remember. We need to Google that and see.
And Marie Laveau was late 1800s, wasn't she?
Yeah,
It was mid to late.
mid 1800s to late. But you got to remember that her daughter rolled in and played her role
Yeah, so she was
and extended her.
from, like, then to
What? I'm
the
going to Google
30s
that
or
while we're
something.
talking. Tell me how to spell her name.
Lalaurie,
Yeah.
Lalaurie.
Laurie. Because that's something that I should know. And I absolutely couldn't remember.
I was trying to remember it. I remember the time period just being wrong and me thinking, that's weird that Marie Laveau showed up.
I still can't find it. I'm looking now. Cause
Angela Bassett's a pretty good Marie Laveau, though.
Yeah, she is. That's a
I
good
have
one.
to say.
It has Jeremy said he liked it?
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. The story's good.
1834.
Okay.
I was right.
You're right.
Yeah, I was right. I thought so. And then I'm fixing to check out Marie Laveau so we can get those time periods right. Because
It might have correlated. I don't know. I remember that being kind of funky.
Because that's something.
And
I didn't
they did
think-
it
I
right
didn't-
with Marie Laveau. How in this time period she's still a hairdresser.
Yeah.
I thought that was about right.
Marie Laveau, born 1794, died 1881.
Okay, so that's about right.
Yeah, so they did.
They did that correct. Okay.
Yeah, so that works out really well. So that's good. So how old would she have been be?
Who?
1794 to 1881. See, that's her daughter.
Close to 100.
Yeah.
For that time period, that's an amazingly long length of years.
So that ties in.
Yeah.
And the stories with her, did they touch on her being a hairdresser?
That's what she is modern day.
Okay, good.
She's around modern day, and she's a hairdresser.
That's
in the,
awesome.
In the Ninth Ward.
That's awesome. That is
Yep.
awesome.
Which is completely right. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
yep,
perfect.
That's right.
Well, so they did their work.
Yeah.
I saw where the Booth brothers has been in New Orleans.
Oh, Lord.
I wonder what they're working on down there.
Yeah.
That should be pretty interesting. But we really need to get back. We ain't got back to New Orleans and done what we used to do. We've always been rushed to get back down there and do real work.
Yeah. I mean, if it's just us, we can. It wouldn't even cost much money. We wouldn't have to pull too many favors. We could take our time and do what we wanted, stay as late as we wanted. We can go into any restaurant. We don't have to make reservations from 10 people.
Could we do a podcast down there?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
That'd be awesome. And download it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on that. We've been planning. We got it to do it. We're gonna plan on doing it in December, right? Basically, is that what we talked about?
Yeah, we could try. To see how everything goes,
That's the key. Yeah, and I'm ready.
Be honest, I've been thinking early. I've been thinking like next year's when we're really going to do everything.
Yes,
But that's just me.
but see, you're like me. You don't want to do nothing, and you want to get out of 2013, don't you?
Yeah, I just want to get out of
That's
2013.
I think that's what a lot of us is. That's how I've been. I know me and
Yeah.
Jeremy talked. Just want to get past 2013 is the key.
Once we get out of this flipping 2013, we can get back to
Yeah, then it's going to be a different day.
That's. I don't know why. For some reason, this year just screw this year.
It's been a crazy year.
Yeah,
It's been a crazy. Things has just been off and just been crazy.
it's been nuts all year.
It has. It has. I want to get back to Graceland again too, just to
Yeah.
go.
Might as well. I mean, crap. I mean,
This is the first year we hadn't done our Elvis shows.
no.
We always do our annual Elvis show. We hadn't done that. We ain't done anything really.
I mean, it's the thing with me in Memphis. That's super easy.
Yeah,
We can do that anytime.
we're gonna have to get back. That's some of the areas. It's a lot of little fun things that we're gonna do again. But getting SPR back started, and I say back started, it's not wearing T-shirts and all that, but just getting back to our history.
Just having the name up again.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically.
That's the key. And connect it back to our tour company, HauntedMontgomery.com. Is it HauntedMontgomery.com?
HauntedMontgomeryTours.com.
HauntedMontgomeryTours.com. Interested in going on a tour, check out the website. Let us know what you think. That gives us an opportunity, and that's something we've really worked hard on. We need to keep promoting and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's one of those where it's just after October and everybody's just cool.
Yeah,
For a little
just
bit.
takes a little break.
Yeah.
I mean, I told Jeremy, you tell me if it's possible, we could offer Christmas gift certificates.
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't.
You buy 2, you get 2 free, something like that.
Do a deal.
Yeah, that would be a good way, a good thing to work on.
Yeah,
that I would like to do
for December, like to give people tickets for whenever they wanted to go.
Yes, for Christmas stuff. Yeah, be a good Christmas time thing. Is there any movies coming out for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I don't even know. I think Ender's Game came out. I know Jenny's going to go see Hunger Games tomorrow.
Isn't there movies come out for Thanksgiving night? Because we used to go when Eric was alive. Every Thanksgiving
there usually is. I don't think there's really anything this year.
What comes out this year?
I hadn't even paid attention, man. Let me look real quick.
When does Anchorman come out?
That's Christmas.
That's Christmas. I can't wait to see that.
I'm going to see that. That's for sure.
But do you have big plans Thanksgiving?
Just the same old plans I always do.
I would like to go to the movies Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Because I'm off all next week. I've taken a vacation, so I'm off all next week.
I'll put it this way. My dad always talks about it. So if we all want to get together and go, that's fine.
And when the boys leave, I'm meeting on my Thanksgiving. Last year, what did we do last Thanksgiving?
I don't even think we did anything.
We all did.
Did we?
Yeah. Did we do a show?
I don't know.
We've done a show every Thanksgiving.
I know we did one the night before, didn't we?
We did something last Thanksgiving, but I don't remember what we all did.
I can't remember. I don't know.
No, I can't remember, but I know we was all together. But I don't remember.
I know we'll probably plan on doing one.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do Wednesday. I gotta put a roast on. See, I'm the person that cooks in my family.
Yeah.
My dad and brother will probably be there smoking the turkey, though. I already told him he needs to do that.
Smoking the turkey, really?
Yes. That sounds gross, doesn't it?
Is that all they're going to be smoking?
Yes. No. We got to stuff it with marijuana.
Oh, God. Can you stop this? My leg's cramping. I'm going to start out. I'm going to start screaming. Look at my calf. Oh, my God.
Did you need me to stop for real?
I was fixing to start. I'm okay. I was fixing to start screaming. You know how you get a Charlie horse?
Yeah, was it bad?
Yeah, it was bad. I was fixing to start screaming, and I didn't want you to record me crying.
We'll just end on that. I just fade you out crying.
Oh, man. I ain't had one of those in a long time, and it just hit me. I've
been doing that. I've been having to do the mustard thing.
God, man. I was fixing to get on it, man.
What is it? You got to eat mustard?
Yeah, it's mustard, bananas. We do mustard packs a lot of the time for basketball and different things.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. But, man, when your calf muscles tightens up, you feel it
That's
coming.
A bad feeling.
That's a bad feeling. It is.
Did you stretch your leg out and get it out?
Yeah, okay. I caught it. That's pulling me how you get your toes back. I used that table. You didn't see me. I used that table. I said, cut the show out. I finna start screaming. Golly.
Oh,
how do you think this is going so far?
I think we're getting back into it, like where it's more of a slice of life show where we just kind of talk about whatever we're thinking about at the moment.
Yeah,
and that's how it should be. That's how it's always been.
That's the way
when it's good.
Yeah, that's us. That's the way it should be. I agree.
We tried to structure it, and it just never works when we structure it.
We get angry when we can't keep it structured, or something happen. You get David Humphrey, wake up, America!
Wake up! And he stops making sense, and you're like, David, that doesn't even. Shut up!
Golly.
Too many chicken hot dogs.
Oh, man. The good old days.
Good old days of the chicken hot dogs and that little grill.
Yes.
And it was just us eating the hot dogs. Nobody else but the guy that smelled like period.
There you go. People that we come across over the years.
That didn't have good eyebrows and smelled like a period.
He smelled like a period. He had connecting. I had a unibrow. Unibrow smelled like a period. That is good time.
We called him David's buddy because he'd hang out with him all the time.
He loved David Humphrey.
He did. He loved him some David.
You remember we had those guys that listened to the show, and then we got on the topic of the incomplete Bible, and everybody got mad and quit listening.
Yeah.
Then we brought Dr. Perry on, the pastor, and the first thing he said, "Yeah, the Bible's incomplete."
Yeah, he's like, they're right, actually, guys.
Yeah.
Shut up, Mom.
And everybody got mad again.
Yeah.
And we would not let it go.
Talked about it for like 3 shows.
We kept saying how many more folks would get mad.
Yeah.
That was good. You know, our shows was the best when they wasn't structured. We can just sit down and talk about anything. Can have an hour conversation about cooking a banana.
Be honest, that's the hour structure does it best when
Yeah.
you're just going to kind of sit down and talk and catch
Yeah.
up.
I think so. There's so many things I want to start talking about on some of these shows. There's so many, like you said, strange things happening out there. Weird things, just absolutely weird things.
Yeah. And I mean, as we get back out in the field, we'll have more to talk about.
Yeah.
So
I want to start talking about some of the places we're going and some of what's going on.
we
And,
got to go there and then talk about it.
yeah, that's the key. That's the key.
That's what makes it interesting.
We need to have a show to talk about our books again. Get that back out there.
Yeah.
Kind of pick that up a little bit.
That might
more.
be something we do until we get into the big swing of things in 2014.
Yeah, I think so. Then I want to kick 2014 off with our prediction show if I can ever get it together.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get them good. We did pretty good last year on our predictions.
Did pretty good.
Did I predict these tornadoes?
I'd have to look.
I would look because I thought I predicted a late season tornado outbreak or
You
bad
probably
weather,
did.
but I could have been wrong because I'm so horrible picking weather.
It's about time to wrap up, by the way.
Well, hey, we're back. I appreciate everybody listening to our podcast. Check us out. HauntedMontgomeryTours.com. Jake Bill, why don't you sign us off for a change instead of me?
Everybody have a great night or a great whenever the crap you're listening to this. And enjoy yourself.
Good night.
Good night.